For the first time in more than 150 years, Indiana University will no longer print the Indiana Daily Student. It wasn't the only shakeup at IU's media school on Tuesday. As Ethan Sandwise reports, the announcement came on the same day the school fired its director of student media.
The IDS newsroom was as busy as ever Wednesday, despite the news. Reporters had been rushing to meet a deadline for their special homecoming edition, a paper which now will never be printed.
What drives someone to pick up our paper is not the homecoming guide. They can find homecoming content anywhere. They're going to pick up the paper when they see it on the newsstand and see a really good story they can't find other places.
But those news stories might be why there won't be a physical copy of the IDS this week. Media School Dean David Tolchinsky announced last night the campus leadership decided to end print editions. He said the decision was made to offer, quote, experiential opportunities more consistent with future media. But he announced that hours after he fired the director of student media, Jim Rodenbush. Rodenbush refused to enforce a media school directive that those special editions contain no news unrelated to the theme. He told higher-ups that amounted to censorship.
I am in a position where I can tell my editors that this is the thing that's been said to me, but then it then falls under their whatever they want to do is whatever they want to do.
After IU paid almost $1 million of the IDS's debt, it limited printing to 7 themed editions per semester. The goal was to cut printing costs and staunch the paper's deficit. Rodenbush says he still doesn't understand why media school leaders chose to enforce rules on what news could be printed. He said leadership first gave him those directions in September.
That was really the first time where it was communicated to me that there can't be news, and that this isn't something that we're just talking about, but this is like a thing.
He relayed those orders to IDS editors-in-chief last week.
We had heard almost like rumors that we would soon be directed to stop publishing news in our print paper, but the October 7th was kind of the first official thing in writing we received.
Co-editor-in-chief Andrew Miller says media school officials never spoke to the editors directly.
We've tried, but we haven't. Whenever we've brought up the issue of the special editions, it's kind of been danced around.
Neither the media school dean nor campus leadership responded to WFIU's request for an interview, but in an emailed statement, Bloomington Chancellor David Reingold said ending the print paper was a financial decision, quote, concerning the medium of distribution, not editorial content. Associate Professor of Journalism Susanna Evan Comfort disagrees.
We have the IDS charter, which is very clear that it's editorially independent.
But she doubts that IU intended for the move to quash IDS reporting.
You can't have journalism without editorial independence, and I think that our leadership here knows that. I'm not suspicious that they are censoring a specific news article or a specific subject. To me, they know that's a bright line.
Demanding the paper stop printing news raised a stir on campus and beyond. Student media organizations WIUX and IUS-TV have both issued statements opposing Rodenbush's firing, as has the IU student government. Free speech organization FIRE, the Foundation for Individual Rights and Expression, described it as, quote, patently unconstitutional. Prominent IU alumni such as celebrity businessman Mark Cuban say they're not happy with IU. In a post on X, he says he donated to IU to help keep the paper afloat. Veteran journalist Lisa Sorg says she feels ashamed of her alma mater.
What I was taught was the press and the freedom to expose and hold institutions accountable is a sacred right, and we should never back down.
Miller says the media school knows what it did is censorship, despite what it says.
Jim explained to them so many times that this would be breaking the law, essentially. And I mean, I really see no way that would be possible.
The IDS continues to publish news online. Its charter guarantees editorial independence and a full-time director of student media. IU hasn't said yet whether Rodenbush will be replaced. For Indiana News Desk, I'm Ethan Sandwise.